Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another discourse on problem solving. Economics is one of the subjects that I didn't do well at the texture level. I would consider that as my misfortune that A, I did not understand the subject, and B, my teacher took it rather too casually. As I grew up in my profession as a management consultant, I could relate economics to something as fragrant, as wide, as intriguing as romance. As intriguing as romance. Where does it begin? Where does it stop? Incredible. In terms of length, breadth, and huge in terms of dynamics. Thanks to the teacher who tried to teach economics in his own way, that one day I felt starved about the subject and I picked up the notes, the musical notes of economics on my own. Fortunately, by that time, I traveled to a plane, I traveled to a stage where I didn't need books to learn. That's yours sincerely. So, last two episodes, we talked about emotional economics. And there is an emotion of economics. That's what I carried to you. It might look very personal. The economics tragedy in my life. It might look very personal example, but no. There are few things that we miss every now and then. And its realization comes only when you feel starved. You don't know what is making you feel starved. So sometimes you enter your refrigerator, you enter that little storage space of sweets and salts and fried stuff and the dry stuffs and the roasted stuff, and you find out, oh yeah, this is the white ones is what I was looking for, or the red ones is what I was looking for. I don't know whether you felt it like this. When you want to have grapes, you have a specific choice of black grapes. That day you don't want to have green ones or the yellow ones. So this starvation, try and dig it out. Please try and dig it out. You would become a very natural, a very sensitive organism, which you may not be right now. You may not be, because you refrain from reacting to environment. But the environment, as we found out last time, is the wholesome living. The environment is the whole-mindedness. Don't misunderstand the word environment. Go through the entire discussion, then probably there's lesser chance of you misplacing me somewhere. We looked at emotional economics, and very few wise men and women are consciously practicing economic of emotions. We somehow do the dash, execute the dash, and then regret, oh, were you too fast? Did you hit on someone? Did you dash into someone? Or did you stop a second before? Did you stop an inch before? In that case, was it too much of an emergency and too much of an anxiety? Did it throw some people out of their backseat? We execute too much of dash. Unnecessarily, quite unnecessarily. And these dashes are against the run of the time. If the time is running and you are running, probably, there's no reference problems. But if it is otherwise, it is definitely create a reference problem. Now look at it from technology angle, from the angle of pure sciences, pure mathematics. You can also look at it from the angle of psychology. That you are going against the run of the time. Things are bound to be more difficult for you. That's where your dash comes. I like it. All of us like it. That's the most dramatic element of our living. That's what we ever hope to see in the universe. Whether you're watching plays, whether you're watching dramatics, whether you're watching your own children. The parents who attend the musical concert of a child, they expect that the child does at least one thing for a second or maybe a millionth of a second. He says or he sings in such a way that his tutor has not taught him. In simple terms, economics will help us understand which emotion to carry, which emotion to abandon, which emotion to carry, which emotion to abandon, which emotion to postpone, which emotion to postpone, which one to carry, which one to postpone, which one to buy off shelf, which one to manufacture on your own. If you're worried about buying off shelf, think about a very basic example from music. I can sing a song from a film and demonstrate how well I match the notes, how well I have understood the composer, how well I have understood the poetry, how well I have understood the way the protagonist walked through a greenery or sailed over a sea. That's copy. The perfection yields your audience, the loyalty to you. But for the music, which is routine, it's already done. There are n number of other people singing the same song. They're the popular ones. That's why they are sung. They're the popular ones. That's why people say, yeah, I've heard this song. And then when you sing an unpopular song, you say, what is this? I mean, I'm really confused. But that's what happens first time, isn't it? In every situation. That happens first time. You go to your friend's place and you have his pet greeting you for the first time and he's all going to be barking on you, barking, making your life uncomfortable. And the next time you visit him, you're missing him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is that tiger? He hasn't saluted me. He hasn't said good morning to me. He hasn't said welcome to me. Where is he? So somebody now creates his own music, his own poetry, makes his own composition, decides which ragas to sing, which rhythm to sing, how to express, imagines himself on the screen, and thereby delivers the poetry and the music as if he's making up for that protagonist in the real time on the screen. I should say illusion time, isn't it? Screen is an illusion. And the illusion time on the screen, that's your own creation. That's your own creation. You will know which emotion to carry through, which emotion to abandon, which emotion to postpone. And we'll have a very simple example. Among the tea and coffee in a place like India, among the tea and coffee, probably you'll have one at a time, isn't it? You can't have coffee and tea. You can't have tea after coffee and tea after tea or coffee after tea. No, sorry. I've opened out the dramatic plot. Withdraw. Just erase. You can't have tea after coffee. You can't have coffee after tea. So we have normally a choice. Well, in a place like India, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice not to have a tea or not to have a coffee when you visit someone. You don't have a choice. What would you like to have? Aunt, I want to have coffee. She served you a cup of coffee. Sorry, in a place like India, you don't have much choice. You don't have a choice not to have either a coffee or tea. You don't have a choice not to have tea or coffee. So here's Aunt welcoming you. Say, dear, you like coffee, isn't it? Yes, Aunt, I do. Here's a cup of coffee. Dear, 10 minutes later, dear, you like coffee, isn't it? Yes, Aunt. Have another one. Why? I had. Well, you like it, isn't it? Okay, fine. 15 minutes later, dear, you like to have coffee, isn't it? I do have. I've already made one more for you. Aunt, this is too much. I don't like coffee so much that I keep drinking this. No, but it's been a while. It's been 10 minutes since you had last. Exaggeration? No. I'm trying to execute a very poignant subject in front of you. Does emotion like liking a coffee mean that you are having it over and over and over again? This may not happen in case of coffee, but this will certainly happen in case of chocolates. This is certainly going to happen in case of ice creams. That you don't know how much you're eating. This is also going to happen in case of some Indian sweets, such as maybe gulab jamun or rasgulla. It's going to happen in that case. So what are we doing? Are we consumed by the emotion? Are we? Aren't we? Is this emotion a pleasure? Or is this emotion a liability on us? People flaunt their ego, but if it comes to paying for their ego, what distance can you go? Not much. Not much. Probably for the little money that you have and the little money that you spend on your ego satisfaction, You might have one or two buyers for that, and that's not worth it. You try to buy your credibility. Look at the point and see. You wanted to buy your credibility. You wanted to buy your character without having the wherewithal to create it. How sad. What does it cost? What anti-economics is this? Next ball you want to hit for a 6 and you start dancing out of the pitch even before the ball is released. So here this man bowls outside the off stump, makes a signal to the wicket keeper, and quietly he removes the bell. And people think you're not playing a shot, you were just too eager to go to pavilion. In the evening the coach calls you and says, did you have a date right in the middle of the game? No, sir. No, because I thought you were in a particular hurry. Just ensure next time you don't have your girlfriend sitting in the audience. And that's been very honorable remark. That's been very honorable remark. So can we abandon some emotions? Can we postpone some emotions? Can we do that? If we are not able to select that and make that emotion a part of the virtuosity, I like that word, that ensures a lot of success, a lot of happiness, a lot of gainfulness. But there is a meaningful and useful and human and credible and valuable feeling and emotion you are carrying. You are being virtuous. So in the overall plan of virtuosity, if you can add this emotion, you'll have to do a lot of grass cutting. The pitch is not ready. You will have to do a lot of grass cutting. Because economics is an intelligent idea. It is not an emotional idea. And why economics we try to apply to emotions is that emotion normally is seen as an act of flamboyance. It's free to buy, free to use, and free to execute. Another emotion comes, another emotion comes. What is the value of first emotion? That it could be easily replaced by another emotion? That was a fake plot of destiny. It was misleading you. It was misleading you. So let us not have these kind of misleads anymore. We are into very active problem solving. We are conscious what one act now, what one dash of yours, what problem it could create in future. Being wary of that problem, being aware of the problem is now our own responsibility. It's our own responsibility. So that's what life is, isn't it? As I say always, therefore, come to problem solving. Come to life.